Hello, my dear people, all Nigerians, from wherever you are watching from. I've had a video done, maybe about over a year now. It's not something that I always wanted to do, like coming on social media and the rest. But at the same time, I look at the situation of the country, I look at the situation of Nigeria, and every day gives me sleepless nights. It gives me sleepless night to an extent that sometimes I wake up 3 o'clock and all I'm thinking is, why? How can things keep on going the way they are going at the moment? And there's no solution in sight. Just when you start thinking that there's about to be a solution, then other things happen and you just think, this country is finished. I'm not one of those that easily gives up on something. And I'm not about to give up now. And I'm also asking you not to give up on Nigeria. The problem we are having is what you all know. It's a leadership problem. But the other thing we need to understand is that it's not just about leadership problem. The other thing we need to understand is that it's a leadership with purpose. It's a leadership that has their own agenda. It's a leadership that want to do things in a certain way. It's a leadership that want at the end of the day to ruin the whole country for their own personal interest and benefits. It's very unfortunate. You look at the country, I'm going to give you an instances. When the northerner, the Hausa Fulani wants to talk about how long ethnic groups have been ruling in Nigeria, they will start from 1999 and say PDP ruled for 16 years, Obasanjo 8 years, Jonathan 4 years, or 6 years, that's 16 years. The northern have ruled for less than that. They will completely forget that Nigeria did not start in 1999. The useless democratic thing would have started in 1999. But you have to go back as far as when Nigeria started. Think about it from 1960 up to date. How long have the northerners been in power? Over 50 years out of the 63 or whatever it is. But when we come to talk about it, they will be so selfish, or we will be so selfish to start talking about the northerners have only been in power for 8 years or 9 years. They forgot about all the 50-something years that they have been in power. They forget about the situation where we are today is as a result of incompetent people in leadership. And because of their incompetence, it has become so much that it has rubbed on almost the remaining part of the country. We are where we are today, you all know, as a result of impunity that has been happening, and nobody seems to care. I wouldn't have made this video, but I just felt one cannot just keep quiet every single day while the ship is sinking. It's better you die fighting than you just give up the ghost and just go like that. It is so annoying. If these northern leaders, if they are looking after their people, if all the ordinary Hausa Fulani, if they are enjoying as we speak today, then I would say maybe we don't have a problem. I have to be honest. But the northerners, the ordinary Hausa Fulani people, the southerners, the easterners, everybody is going through all this rubbish going on. We are all victims. The only people that are enjoying are the leaders. The few leaders in the north are the ones that are enjoying. Nothing more. And it has got to a stage now that the people, even the good, ordinary Samaritans, citizens of Nigeria, have taken law into their hands. They have started doing things that ordinarily is not associated with any normal Nigerian. And it's so unfortunate that we have got ourselves to where we are today. To now think about it, like I said at the beginning, when you think a solution is coming around the corner, then you will see certain things that are crazy. I was watching Wiki on telly the other night. He was talking about how the southern leaders or southern governors want to become slave forever. How they have let him down. How they are fools. But Wiki has forgotten that he is the bigger fool. Because in 1999, he spent all the resources of, in 2019, he spent all the resources of River State to support Tambuwal against Atiku. That time, we had people from his own side. We had Kingsley Moghalu. There are people like Showore. It doesn't matter. He should have supported any one of these people. But he spent the whole resources of River State to support Tambuwal. So now, who is the bigger fool? Tambuwal that you did everything for in 2019. Today, Tambuwal had the choice to pick between you and Atiku. He picked his own brother. That is where you people need to start knowing that you people don't have brain at all. The Northerners will do anything. If you think you are doing something with a Northern leader and you think he's behind you, wait until the last minute. You will see what will happen. So it is very unfortunate that we, or people in the South, I grew up in the North. I spent most of my years, most of my life in the North. I love the ordinary Hausa Fulani people. They are wonderful. I have to be honest with you. It is just their leaders that has turned them to what they are today. Through poverty, through hunger. So rather than fighting the ordinary Hausa Fulani man, our war should be waged against the northern elites and the northern leaders. They are the ones destroying all the lives of not just the northerners, including the southerners now. And like I said, just when you think something is going to happen that is going to change all these things, then you see things getting worse. Now the lives of every Nigerian or Nigerians is put in the hands of a few delegates. When you have these systems working in America or working in other Western world, it works because these people only look at the capacity, the ability, the intellectual capacity of a president, how that aspirant has put himself on the table, what they think he can bring to the table. Not just bring it to the table, but achieve in the long run. That is why you have these delegates picked these people in terms of merit. But in Nigeria, we have delegates. Everything is corrupt. How can such a system work in Nigeria? So now you have some delegates deciding for 200 million Nigerians who they pick as their president. After 7 years, after Buhari's 7 years, I have never seen the country in such a worst situation. And every time, all they come and tell us is, we are doing infrastructure. Our infrastructure is unprecedented. What is the use of your infrastructure if ordinary Nigerian citizens are not safe on that stupid infrastructure? What is the point of infrastructure if ordinary man will not, in throughout their lives, use a train from one place to the other. The most important infrastructure in the whole world is for every single masses, every citizen of a country to be able to afford 3 square meal. If they decide to go on 2 square meal per day, it should be their own choice. It should not be because it is not available. But all you tell us is infrastructure. What is the point of you building infrastructure? What is the point of someone building 24-story building if you don't have electricity that is going that you are going to use for the lift to get people from the first floor to the 24th floor? You tell me, what is the point of that building? You build a 24-story building, you have a lift inside, but there's no electricity to power the lift up there. So what is the use of that building? And that is what this present APC government are doing. They keep wasting our money because they believe they can borrow. Even if they don't have any more, they can still go and borrow and say they are putting it on infrastructure. Infrastructure that has no, you cannot say that this is what they've done. They have turned billions of dollars into 100 millions. Every day they talk about billions and billions and billions and billions. It is so unfortunate. But rather than keep talking about how unfortunate it is better for one to start putting one and one together. And how are we going to get out of this? Because I have to be honest with you. It's something you know, it's something I know. The northern leaders, I'm not talking about ordinary House of Fulani, I'm talking about the northern leaders. They have an agenda, like everybody has been saying. Obadiah, my left ear, said it. Today where he is, he's dead. The Methodist Archbishop that was just recently kidnapped, that they paid 100 million to get him out, he said the same thing. How many people have 100 million, for Christ's sake? But because this government has an agenda, ask yourself, in an Igbo land, why are you having a police commissioner for that is from a certain ethnic group? Why are you having all over the south? When you want to hear the name of a police commissioner in Anambra, you will hear Mohammed something. If you want to hear a police commissioner in Bende, you will hear Zachary something. Just as they have put in every one of their own people in all our security architecture, that is how they are in every single state. Why is that? If the Fulanis want to do something, if they have a plan on what they want to do, who do you go to report to? You report to one of them. Why do you have so much Fulanis? Why do you have all of these terrorists? Why do you have them all over the southern part? You tell me. So we are in a situation today where I think everybody needs to stand up. We need to stand up and we need to start thinking about what is going on. You can see from what is happening today, how can delegates decide for 200 million people? You need to know in that aspect that we are failures. We can never copy American system because Americans are not as corrupt as we are. Americans will choose their leader according to their capacity, integrity. But Nigerians will choose their leaders according to the amount of money that you can pay. So now they have turned delegates to overnight millionaires. We have Buhari's government. is almost 8 years, the worst government that have ever existed in the history of Nigeria. And now they are plotting to have another Hausa Fulani in that same position. The ordinary Hausa Fulani in the north are dying, they are not benefiting. The people in the south are dying, they are not benefiting. And we are all just going to sit down and watch it happen. If this happens, just like everybody is saying, this should be the end of that republic. This should be the end of Nigeria if that happens. Because there's no fairness, there's no justice, there's no equity. This is what they have been clamoring and they have been saying. But if it happens, there's no fairness, there's no equity, there's no justice. The only way that country can change is for everyone to go their own way. That is one. But just before that time, there's nothing wrong with a leader who has a vision and who is going to make sure that he follows through with his vision. The Northerners have been in power for too many years. When Abiola in 1993 won this election, what did they do? They annulled it. It's the same people we are talking about. They annulled this election and put that man in prison. Eventually, what did they do? They killed him. What did we do? Nothing. Because of all the agitation and everything that went on, they now thought, okay, let's see. Babangida decided to put Shoneko. And then behind, they went and have a meeting with Abacha. After 6 months, Abacha, go and remove him there. After 6 months, they came to Shoneko and just eased him off the chair. And then Abacha took over. Until Abacha died. Every time, all they want to do is to appease the South when they notice that things are going to happen. That is the only way they will appease the South to keep us quiet, and then they move on. They have their 100 plans of how they want to remain perpetually on that seat. And the only way forward, Nigerians, is to make sure the country might not split now. Oduduwa might not have their own country now. The Biafrans might not have it. The Middle Belt, the same thing. So while we wait, we still need to elect someone that we think can make changes. There is no how an Igbo man will be in that position, and Nigeria will be going the way it is going now, and he will just take it like that. That position is a position of power. When you get there, there are certain things you can do. For as long as you did not allow the Hausa Fulani leaders to go into your head, you remember you have your own people. You need to be just, you need to be fair, and there has to be equity. So for that country to move forward as we speak today, present solution gets somebody from the South. I'm not talking about Tinubu. I'm not talking about all this. Osinbajo was there for how many years? Nearly 7 years. And this is the same man that came out now and said he wants to be president. People are saying, oh, when Buhari was not there for a couple of months, he was in charge and he did well. No. When Buhari came back and certain things that you did, he undid them. That is the time you are supposed to have resigned. Today, you don't need to go around campaigning. That would have done it for you. But for you to sit with the government that are killing Nigeria with all impunity And now you come out and you say you want to be president. For Tinubu, Nigerians were dying when Corona came. Nigerians were dying left, right, and corner. There's no food anywhere for anybody. What should you have done then? Open up some areas. Buy as much food as you can. Tell Nigerians to go to these areas and be collecting their food. Do that in every state. Today, you don't need to campaign. All of you are so selfish. Until when you need something, that's when you remember you've got to do something. Sharing money all over the places. Market born today, market born tomorrow. He is the Messiah. How can such a person be a president? The same thing happened at Lekki. You guys killed Nigerian youths, left and right. And you are the same people that today now wants to be president. I'm calling on the Nigerian people. I'm calling on the Nigerian youths. It doesn't matter who comes in. But I don't think another northerner coming in after what Buhari had done to this country is the right way to go. Before we divide, that we have our own Yoruba nation, and the Igbos go on their own way, the Middle Belt go on their own way. Before then, we need to pitch somebody. If we say there's not going to be election, it is something that I would have loved 100%. But I don't see it happening with these people. But I see a possibility of a leader that can be there and gradually start changing things. We are having all the security challenges we are having today because all the security architecture in Nigeria, all the huge positions have been given to the House of Fulani people. How can you have people with such mentality be in the forefront of a situation that we are in? You have a custom controlled by the House of Fulani. You have the immigration controlled by House of Fulani. So if anything is going to come from abroad, whether armory, whether guns or whatever, and it's going to go to the north, it is the same people that are going to check it. And if they have a plan, how do you stop them? But if you mixed it up, federal character, as it has been preached, if these goods are coming, there will be an Igbo man or Yoruba man that will stop them and say, that cannot go without being checked. So they have a plan, they have an agenda of what is going to happen in that country. But my biggest fear and my biggest anger is all the Nigerian citizens that are involved. Not just the Southerner, not just the Easterner. In fact, the Northern ordinary House of Fulani are in more trouble than every other tribe. I want you to get that right. So we need to stand up. Come 2023, if the Yoruba nation and the Biafra and any other nation that wants to come out of Nigeria, if it didn't happen, an election had to happen. We all just cannot sleep and put our head facing the same direction. If we keep saying election will not happen, election will not happen, we have been saying this for a long time. Nnamdi Kanu said it, Biafra said it, that election will not happen in 2019, election will not happen in 2015. It happened. Today we are almost 8-10 years into it. So let's stop deceiving each other by saying election is not going to happen. We don't have the power to stop that election happening. If it is only 10 people, they will vote. If you don't vote, they will still vote and still put themselves in there. But what can we do as Nigerians is to sit down and think. Out of these people that are bringing, I know we don't want to talk about whether one is better than the other or the other side. No. What I'm saying is, no matter how daft, no matter how brainless an Igbo man is, they will be 10 times better than what we have today. And that is why you have to rally your power, rally whatever you can. If Peter Obi is still in the race, he's the one person I feel might change the trajectory of Nigeria. Any other person other than him, I'm not comfortable. Kingsley Moghalu is another person. If we are talking about fairness, equity, and justice, this thing should go to the east. Tinubu is a waste of space, I'm sorry to say. We need people that can move this country forward. Imagine Tinubu with the situation he's in today, with his health and what have you. Imagine another 8 years. All we are going to end up doing is sending him abroad for the first 4 years just to take care of him with Nigerian taxpayers' money. So fellow Nigerians, we need to come together. Whether you are a Biafra, whether you are a Yoruba nation, whether you are Middle Belt, whether you are Northern, ordinary House of Fulani people, we all need to come together and say no to all this that is happening. And how can we say no to it? Is to try and get somebody from Southeast for equity, fairness, and justice.